So this video is about how to change light bulbs and how to change fuses. So we're going to start with fuses. Here's a typical fuse box on this vehicle here. This is the cover that goes over it. Took it off just like that. Just unclip it and take the cover off. So fuses generally have a mapping. Either sometimes if you look on the inside, there'll be a little piece of paper, or on the outside there's a map of what each of the relays and the fuses is working with. And it'll also give you the amperage. If you look at this cap, this cover, you can see that it has the amperage and what the relay or fuse is for. So usually whenever I take out a fuse, I will disconnect this negative battery cable, because sometimes you'll get a little bit of an arc and that'll blow the fuse out again when you put the new one in. So you want the battery disconnected. You take one of these little tools, and a lot of vehicles come with a tool. In fact, this one I think has one. Yeah, has one right in here. And I'm just going to use this other one. You can buy these at your local auto parts store. And it grabs onto the fuse, and it makes it a lot easier to pull it out. So you put this down over the fuse, like so, and you just pull it out. Now when you look at the fuse, there's a little metal part in the middle. You can check that to see if it's broken. If that's not broken, your fuse is usually okay. You can also check with a wire or a tester to see if the fuse is conducting electricity. And if it is, the fuse is good. If it's not, it is bad and needs to be replaced. Now, fuses will fail for generally one of two reasons. One, they're old, they've gotten brittle inside, and they just blow out. You replace them, and you're good to go. The other reason is there's some kind of a short, or there's some kind of a problem in your electrical system somewhere. So once you figure out which fuse is blown, and you look at the system that it goes to, you might want to investigate and solve that problem before replacing the fuse, because simply replacing the fuse will not solve the problem. And you never want to use a paper clip or a wire or a piece of foil in place of a fuse just because the fuse keeps blowing. That's how you burn your car up. You do not want to put more of an amperage pathway into where a fuse goes when there's a fuse that keeps blowing out. If the fuse keeps blowing out, something's wrong. Get it checked out. Sometimes diagnosing electrical problems is a very complex process, and it's difficult for the average person. So you probably will want to take that into a shop and have that problem tracked down. But you don't want to try and short circuit that and put a paper clip or a piece of wire in there, because you're going to end up with a much bigger problem. You're going to end up burning your entire wiring harness and your engine up. So that is how you replace the fuse. We'll look at another fuse box in another vehicle. There are many locations for fuse boxes. Some are inside of the kick panel. Some are even underneath the floorboard, underneath the carpet, and open up the floorboard. So you have to look at your owner's manual or contact your dealer about your vehicle to find out where all of your fuse panels are. Some vehicles have 2 fuse panels, some vehicles have 3. So you have to know what your vehicle has, but generally that's how you replace a fuse or a relay. You simply disconnect the negative battery cable, find the offending fuse, replace it, and then reconnect your battery cable. And always check to see what the procedure is for disconnecting a negative battery cable on your vehicle, as some vehicles require constant power to the security system or the ignition system or some other part of the electrical system of the vehicle. So you don't want to just yank your negative battery cable off without checking to see what your car's requirements are. So here we have another fuse box under the hood of a little Mercedes. So up here on the left hand side, and you just open this little tab here, press this tab and pull up, and it opens like so. So this particular model has a fuse chart card that comes with it. Looks just like that. And it shows you all the numbered locations of each fuse here, and a description of what system that fuse works for. Removing these fuses is the same. You have a little fuse remover here and a little like kind of like a little tweezer tip that grabs onto the fuse. So you want to change a fuse, you just grab it, pull it out with this little fuse removal tool, and you can also put it back in with the tool as well. Usually though, I just use my hand and put it, have more control, seem to have more control. So I just push it back in, and that's how you change a fuse. You're done. Take your little cover here, put it on, make sure your clip snaps, and you're good to go. Okay, this vehicle has 2 fuse boxes, and the second one is inside, right inside the driver's side door here on the left, and you access it through this little panel. You have to have the door all the way open. You turn these 2 little screws at 90 degrees, and then you have to like kind of pry the edge here until you can get it started. Let's see, I'll try up here. And then you just rotate it out, these little hinges, like so. And then there's a little map of what they're for. And then you have another set of fuses here. So each vehicle has its own fuse locations, and you need to establish where your fuse boxes on your vehicle are located. Changing these and checking these would be the same as the others. You use the same tool. And I'll just put this back in here. Close up the panel. And we'll rotate these little hinges in here. Let me get that underneath. Mold it. And I lost one of the little clips. And we just turn these 90 degrees.